How's it going out there, folks? Welcome back here to a Wednesday night. It is the Earthmaster out here, about 8:17 p.m. California time. October 23rd, 2024 is the date. Got some earthquake activity showing up on that live seismograph station there in Petrolia, Northern California. This earthquake pretty much flatlined the seismograph station. A very localized seismic event there. Looks like maybe a 2.5 or so. Nothing showing up here from the USGS, although it is showing up on the Petrolia station, which sits just outside the Eureka area here. Nothing, absolutely nothing showing up there from the USGS, nor the EMSC, but obviously an earthquake. All right, far as what's going on out here, current activity, we do have a 1.8 into Southern California. I'm going to adjust this map a little bit because looks like things went back to like a 12-hour setting here on the globe. I had to reboot everything here because the live stream went down suspiciously about 40 minutes or so ago. Not for sure what happened. Nothing on my end as far as internet goes, but in between me and the YouTube servers went down. Again, I don't know why, how, or who, but it's been a common issue here recently. There's that 6.2 into the Kuril-Kamchatka Trench. Nothing showing up following that event. That's a little odd here. That tells me right there that things are just about ready to potentially pop here across this area. I think we need a little bit more deeper activity to trigger some larger surface adjustment. But at 6.2, that's a decent earthquake, but this area can obviously see something much bigger. I'm talking about mega quake out there, 9 and above in that area. Let's go ahead and check out California here real quick, see what we have going on in Southern California. Near the Desert Hot Springs area, Palm Springs region, a pair of earthquakes here, 1.1 and a 1.8 within a few minutes of each other, striking out here west of the San Andreas Fault there. That's on the Pacific side of the plate boundary. That's where most of the movement has been occurring here today. Not a whole lot here on the North American side. I get a little bit nervous when we see elevated seismic activity out here on the North American side of the plate boundary. That's where obviously some strain crustal quakes could be observed here across the area. And right now, a handful of smaller quakes out there, but really nothing of elevated activity. Most of the movement on the Pacific side here of the plate boundary. Also got some activity out here near the Hopper Mountain region. A lot of this activity from earlier this morning. And yeah, goodness, I caught something here from Missy Mimi's. Potentially could be pneumonia, so I'm trying to deal with that right now without bringing down my update here. So a little bit of activity stirring up here in this region. That movement follows, well, let's see. We really haven't seen a lot of activity out here specifically in this region. This is actually some newer activity up here near the Topatopa. Is that right? Topatopa? Yeah. Say that 20 times. Say that even twice, for me anyway. In the mountain ranges up here, seeing a little bit of elevated seismic activity in the 1 and 2 range here. We haven't really seen a lot of activity here recently, so that's some newer movement. Down here across southeastern area of the Los Angeles jungle, got some movement stirring up here near Villa Park, Anaheim area. Mostly smaller microquakes here. Nothing major going on here across the area for now. Again, some seismic activity around Desert Hot Springs, San Jacinto Fault Zone. San Diego area looks fairly quiet down there. But look down here. We got a little swarming going on near Mexicali. Some 1s and 2s stirring up out there. And showing up there on the Earthquake 3D globe, is that the EMSC in there as well? Looks like it. Okay. Making sure, because I had to reset everything. I had to make sure everything's reset in terms of IP address and virus definitions and the live stream key, all that good stuff. Need to make sure I'm on top notch here when it comes to protecting the live stream here. This area around Baja California region showing some uptick. Now this is just north here of where we caught a, let's see if I can bring this back here a little bit. Had a 4.3 down here yesterday, I believe, in the Baja California area. It looks as though potentially some movement is migrating northward here towards the Southern California area, towards along that plate boundary here. So that's definitely something to watch as things could be on the uptick here soon across the Southern California region. It's not a whole lot of bigger activity. In fact, 2.5 and above. Well, aside from that earthquake there in Mexicali, we got a 2.6 underneath Lake Almanor. Well, looks like that's outside of Lake Almanor area. I was used to saying underneath Lake Almanor area because that's where we've had a little bit of decent activity up here recently, underneath the lake. The latest quake, a surface quake here, 2.6. Obviously that is a big time signal of stress up here in the Sierra Nevada mountains, and of course that all coincides with the plate boundary, right? That's how you get that strain out here across the inland areas. So we do have that elevated activity out there across northern Sierra Nevada mountains range. Let's check out the rest of the area in Southern Cal. Nothing major going on here for the Salton Sea area yet, but we'll watch that. Over the past 30 days, a slight amount of swarming out here across the area. Got about 42 earthquakes here in the last 30 days. Nothing big, really no major swarm. There's been times here where we've watched hundreds of earthquakes strike out here in the vicinity of the southern branch of the San Andreas Fault. But this is a separation not seafloor. I don't know if we want a seafloor out here across the area, but land divergent boundary, right? This is kind of spreading apart. This is a spreading center here of the continental crust compared to transform boundary up north here. But that's why we have volcanic activity down here across the Salton Sea area. Past volcanic activity, really nothing major recent terms, but this is slowly pulling apart here, and it's interesting to watch the activity when it does stir up out here across the area, because obviously that's a sign of further movement on a regional scale across Southern California. And right now there's no major swarming, but you still got to be on guard out here, folks. 1.8, one of the newest quakes here since I've been yakking, near the Palm Springs area. So it looks like we got a little bit of swarming going on here across that region of Southern Cal. Pacific Northwest, relatively quiet out here. Not seeing anything major going on. Let's go ahead and give a quick glance here at the Cascadia trimmer map here. Make sure bells are off, which they are. I always like to double check things here. 6, goodness, that's all. 6 epicenters of tremor down here to Northern California. Not that big of a deal at all. Really, that's very quiet. Still, we really haven't seen any major, like significant uptick in tremor activity compared to years past. This almost looks like a period of, well, I don't know, each year is different out here, but I'm talking about these elevated periods of tremor that you see here on the graph. These lines here indicating elevated tremor on any given day, where we've seen, looks like one day seen over 1,000 tremors. That's quite a bit there for elevated seismic or tremor activity. And it's been basically been since about the end of 2022 here since we've seen any similar tremor activity, with only moderate amounts here. But really the daily counts there have been fairly minimal. So not for sure what's going on. I don't know if that's a good sign or a bad sign out here. We have seen a little bit of seismic activity out here across the Cascadia. This earthquake right here, a little suspicious, 5.0, just shy here of the major subduction zone, the Cascadia megathrust area. And some further movement at the surface area. Well, this is actually somewhat deeper activity here. These little quakes into the Cascadia fold and thrust belt. That's where, things build up due to the strain out here that's accompanying the subduction zone. So we've got to watch that, I think. Who really knows exactly what happened prior to the 1700 earthquake? That was a 9.0 estimated. And there's been potential that this could be set up here for something greater than the 9.0. It's a major subduction zone, and obviously the subduction zones can create these big-time earthquakes. 324 years have passed since the last one out here. So who knows what took place prior to the big one, whether we've seen a swarm of earthquakes out here or no earthquakes for months or tremor activity. This is all new. So it's good to review every single small little quake here in hopes of one day maybe forecasting the next big one after this one happens. But who knows when this one's going to happen out here. But we have to pay attention to the little signs out there in terms of earthquake activity. Nothing major going on there across the Pacific Northwest, as I noted. Yellowstone National Park, nothing at all. I don't think anyway. Let me double check here. The seismograph stations. I hear Missy Mimi's out there sneezing. What goes around comes around, right? When the kids are sick, the adults get sick, and I'm normally the last one that gets sick out here. I got a pretty healthy immune system, but here I am, suffering, I think, from a little bit of pneumonia. So I'm trying to work on that. Little small earthquake here, Purple Mountain area within the last couple hours. That's a localized seismic event. Looks like it's going to be a 1.3 here. Nothing big, as you've seen on the seismograph stations here. We know about it if there was something going on, right? Magma intrusions, magma events would show up. Oh, I guarantee you they would show up all across the seismograph stations, and there's nothing going on there. Man, I got a deep voice here. I could probably go even lower than that. Oh, goodness. I don't know if I want to. I could maybe start singing a country song here. All right, let's not do that. New Jersey. What's going on out here in New Jersey? 1.3, 1.1. This is the area that had that felt earthquake out here a few months back. Still seeing some aftershock, if you will, activity in that region. That, aftershock activity. Aftershock activity is basically a word for further increase in pressure in the area. There's only so much pressure an area can handle before we see earthquake activity. It makes sense, right? So further escalation of aftershock activity would indicate further pressurization out there in the area. And that's what we're seeing today, 1.3 and a 1.1. Nothing big going on there for now. Big time uptick here, though, across the Puerto Trench. All that earthquake there following the divergent boundary activity here in the East Chile Rise area. That's a separation there of the seafloor, fracture zone. That will put the strain out here against the Puerto Trench, and that's where we're seeing quite a bit of earthquake activity ramping up here. I think I need to go back. Ooh, what did I just do here? There we go. That's more in the last 24 hours. I want to get the older quake in here because that shows you guys the elevated seismicity there in the area following that divergent boundary activity. Quite a bit of swarming, and more notable south here across this area where that fracture zone earthquake struck here. So we'll keep an eye on that. This area, obviously, 9.5 earthquake struck back in 1960, the Great Chilean Earthquake, the largest ever earthquake recorded, right? I don't think there's enough strain there to produce a 9.5 again, but you never know further upstream there. Goodness. Big time swarming out here across the Puerto Rico Trench. That's the Puerto Rico area, I should say. This area getting some squeezing going on there. The mainland Puerto Rico area getting heightened. This land rising due to the Mariottos Trough and the Puerto Rico Trench here. Big time area for swarming. Let me see if I can find my my plate boundary map here real quick. Stand by. Goodness, I got so much stuff kicked up here. I wanted to pull up this shot right here. This is the one I'm looking for. Hold on a second here. Make sure you guys can see it, which I believe you can. There we go. So this area of the Puerto Rico Trench here getting squeezed. Mariottos Trough. You got the Caribbean plate here. Very small plate there in the center, being squeezed between the South American plate, the North American plate, the Cocos plate moving to the east. You got fracture zones potentially adding further strain out here in this area. The Atlantic Ocean, Great Atlantic Rift Zone out there adding further strain in that area. And it's almost always underneath the strain in terms of earthquake activity. It's been a little while, I think, since we've seen any big time earthquake swarm out here, but it looks as though it's kicking back up, mainly around this area, Puerto Rico. And I guarantee you these guys can get some big-time earthquakes out here. Let's go to the search catalog book here, and I'll show you guys real quick. We're just going to go 6.0 and above. And there's some chat here about the potential for a megaquake out there in the Puerto Rico Trench. Obviously, some concern, right? A megaquake would produce potentially a tsunami out there across the eastern states there. So we got to watch that. I'm just covering this. Well, we'll go a little bit further west. See what we have out here for the USGS map. The last somewhat considerable earthquake out here is going to be that one back in 2023 away from the plate boundary. That leads me to believe that this area is strained here for some larger activity than the 6.6. This area of Puerto Rico here where I mentioned 6.4 back in 2020. That's a pretty decent earthquake there. 6 kilometers deep. So these surface adjustments can definitely strike out here. Surprisingly, let me see here. Did I cover the Meteorology Trough here? Let me double check here and see what we got. I want to double check that. Modify. Let me draw a rectangle. Yeah, I covered it, but there's nothing showing up there. I find that rather odd that there's been no large earthquakes here across the Meteorology Trough. It's a little strange, right? Subduction zone not showing any elevated seismic activity, so something to watch here. These quiet zones in subduction zone. What's going on down here? A little square out there, maybe an underground military base or an alien base. That's a little odd, right? Perfectly squared out there. All right, interesting. So yeah, just kind of showing you guys the potential here for some large quake activity. Obviously, St. John's area here, Guadalupe region, 8.5. That was back in 1843. A lot of time has passed out here for some build-up stress to produce a big earthquake here in the future. 1843, that's a lot of time in a subduction zone. So things could potentially be on the uptick out here for larger activity here soon across the region. 7.3 back in 1867. That's what I'm saying. There's a lot of earthquake activity that today, that size of movement would probably put a lot of havoc out here across the area. But we built up so much of our infrastructure, our communication systems, our population density has increased so much since large earthquakes have struck out here over the last couple centuries. And Southern California is one of them. And it's quiet for now, but it's not always going to be that case. We're getting close here, I feel, folks, for the big one out there in Southern Cal. Many areas. I mean, any area out here that has hundreds of years of built-up strain since the last big earthquake is a ticking time bomb, so to speak, out here. All right, so watch South America. I mean, you can watch the whole globe, right? Pretty much. 3.8 Philippines area, New Zealand. Not a whole lot of activity stirring up there. 3.1 in between South and North Island. Surface adjustment going on here across the Kermadec Trench area, 5.1. But that's fairly normal following a bunch of deeper activity here over the last week. So expecting some further surface adjustment. Nothing going on here across the Solomon Islands, Vanuatu area, but we'll watch that, right? As one area of the plate boundary subducts, you get surface adjustment. That will further add strain here across that subduction zone. And it's just a matter of time before things start to fill in there. But that's always happening, guys. If you look at the last 30 days of earthquake activity, 167 earthquakes alone here in this area, 5.0, 6.0, 4.5. So this is nothing new. It's these areas of quietness here in the last 30 days or so that we really need to watch. New Zealand, certain areas around Solomon Islands. Mariana Trench has been awfully quiet as well. And look at that Kuril-Kamchatka Trench. We had one giant 6.2 earthquake out there in the middle of the quiet zone. That tells me right here, X marks the spot. Got to watch that for some mega quake activity. And that's not fear mongering. That's just the facts. This area can easily produce a 9.0 or greater It's a major subduction zone that builds up quite a bit of slip rate on any given year. All right, let's get out of here. I'm going to try and finish this before my voice completely goes away. I got to keep my voice up, man. I'm going to be doing a Halloween show on Sunny 105.7 here in Chico. So we're going to be playing some Halloween music for the locals out here. Tune in. Also, I don't know if we got it up yet or not, but ChicoSunny.com is our website. You should be able to listen online as well. But I'll be on Halloween night playing some spooky tunes there. So I got to keep my voice up and running. Otherwise, I will sound like this on the radio specifically. I don't know if anybody really wants to hear that. All right. Maybe that might be something cool. Maybe my voice is taking a turn for the worse, for the better. Probably not. All right. Let's see what we got here for space weather activity. That actually hurt my throat. A number of sunspots here, folks, coming around the bend. Goodness, we got quite a bit of space weather activity to look forward to, I think. These are complex magnetic structure lines out there. And there's a number of them. There's a couple different sunspots out there on the eastern limb. Not named yet. Oh, no, there's 3869, so it has been named. There's also another sunspot number or sunspot region behind that, behind 3869, right about here. This is a massive area of complex sunspot, magnetically crazy activity. And I have a feeling this potentially could produce some stronger X-flare here as we head into the remainder of the days here in the head. As far as the weekend goes, I think we'll see some X-flare probability peaking from that very active area out there. Right now, X-flare has been bumped up a little bit to 10% chance. M-flare at 60, C-flare around 99% chance or so. Nothing big for now, but I guarantee you, once that very active region comes into view, we're going to see some X-flare potential out there. Goodness. Nothing major going on for the auroras for now. Hopefully we can get that kicking up, maybe. As far as any weather patterns out here goes, let's check this out, see what we have. Pacific Northwest got a system coming in there, bringing some rain, cooler temperatures there across the area. Our next storm system looks to be around October 29th, early Monday there into Northern California. We got the Sacramento Valley there producing that rain shadow. Boo. But rainfall, cooler weather pattern coming into Northern California, Pacific Northwest. That pretty much opens the storm door there for the West Coast area. And that looks to be potentially wet on Halloween as well, which is fine with me. But we need this rain. Look at that. Even a little bit more substantial rainfall maker there as we head into the first week of November. Now, look down south here, folks, okay? Reed Timmer, even Reed Timmer is picking up on this, right? Everyone knows the famous storm chaser Reed Timmer. I have yet to meet him. When I caught my storm chase tornado out here a couple years ago, in the month of January, a tornado struck out here north of Chico. First tornado of the year. Reed Timmer picked up on it and shared it. Pretty awesome of him to share my video in my YouTube channel. Picked up quite a few subscribers. And also, he added me as a friend on Facebook. Who would have thought, right? Reed Timmer. So we do have a potential tropical system here coming into the Gulf of Mexico, Caribbean area, Florida area as we head into November. The models have been consistent with something forming here. Now, the location is a little bit different from this morning's update. The update this morning showed a similar path to Helene there that struck the Florida area and the Carolinas. This model still has it backed off, but strengthening there off the Florida tip. That's a major hurricane there, Category 3 hurricane, or stronger potentially, around the second week here, November 8th of November. So we have to watch these models pretty closely. These models are designed to pick up on trends and weather patterns. And AI that's a fact, right? AI is a part of our future, and computer models can definitely pick up on weather patterns and how they behave, and this is what it's forecasting here. So to say this is 100% wrong would be foolish, but to say it's 100% right is foolish as well. So we have to watch this as days go by. If it continues to stay consistent, same area, same strength, same weather patterns, then we have to watch potentially for a major hurricane entering into the Gulf potentially, or Florida, as we head into November. The latest model looks like it just updated here, but that's only showing two zones right now, or two images. But we'll have to check this back out here in the morning. So anyway, folks, let's see what we got here. Yeah, that earthquake there that struck in Petrolia, yeah, they never reported it. It's not up there. This is an earthquake here from hours ago. 1724. Yeah, because that was hours ago. It's almost 9 o'clock out here, California time. So the earthquake that struck there when I was showing you guys the update here has not been posted. That goes to show you here the limiting of the reporting out here from the USGS. And that was a very localized earthquake, and it looked like probably to me a 2.5 or so. They'll probably get to it after the fact, but just goes to show you here the preliminary earthquake data reporting system out here is faulted. It needs some work here, so I don't know who's in charge of it, but I think the folks there that run the USGS or involved in the management needs to be a little bit more transparent in terms of the earthquake activity that's taken place out here. I mean, I could easily email people, but why should a member of the public email a geologist or seismologist here saying, hey, there was an earthquake there reported on the Petrolia station, well defined. How come it's not being reported? Well, why should the public do that? It should be automatically updated here through transparency. Government public transparency is key in my book, folks. And it's not happening right now. So I'd like to know. We'll check back in the morning, see if they add it on here. But that's a guaranteed earthquake. That was definitely a guaranteed earthquake. Let's see what else we got. Anything major going on? 3.8, Taiwan area. Let's see here. I think I need to bring this down just a little bit. Not too much, but right about there. I don't like to keep it too cluttered out here with days of activity, so I try to keep it at 24 hours of earthquake activity out here. So we'll continue to watch everything out here, folks, and report back on anything that changes out here. If you do me a favor and subscribe here to this channel, I would definitely appreciate it. We're coming up on, I don't even know what we're at right now. I'm thinking about giving a little giveaway here at 150,000 subscribers. Let me see what we got here for our subscriber count. We're at 138,473. So I'd like to do a little giveaway at 150,000. So the closer we are to 150,000, the closer we are to a giveaway. I don't know exactly what I can give away. I know a lot of people like to win some prizes, cash, or some type of other items. Oh man, what do we got here? Almost an X flare peeking out here. Look at that. You guys see that? Let me go back here. Hard to tell exactly where this is coming off of. I bet you it's this area back here. But we have a near X flare peaking right now. It's actually almost an X flare. M9.4. Got the hiccups all of a sudden. I'm going to have to wait a minute for this to update here because that's a fairly significant flare peeking up out of the blue from somewhere. Hard to say exactly where it's coming from, but we're getting a radio blackout right now across Australia, Indonesia Islands area. That is going to affect the low-frequency navigation systems and high-frequency communication systems such as CB radio, ham radio, and whatnot. I bet you that Let's see here. Oh, we're already into the X flare. Look at that. X 1.2 kicking up right now. Still going up. A little bit of curvature right here. But that looks like a long duration event coming up here. And I guarantee you that's coming off of this sunspot area back here. Has to be. I don't see it coming off of that sunspot. Let me double check complexity here and see what we have. Where's that? Yeah, I don't think it's from any of these. It has to be from this area back here. It's been wanting to flare. And I told you guys to be watching this area here. It's just been shooting off these weird magnetic arches here in the last couple days. And that is a super complex area. In fact, that region out there produced the M or the X 9-pointer back when it was out here last time around the sun, Earth-facing side of the sun. So I guarantee you it's got to be from that region. X 1.5. How high can we go? Looks like it's starting to curve a little bit here, but what I really want to see is which one is coming off of here. Got to be this area. Look at that increasing brightness, all those magnetic lines, arches. You know, what happens when you hit a lot of negative and positive polarities out there? You get the potential spark, right? Such as if you're dragging your feet on the carpet on a very dry, windy day and you touch something metal. Well, yeah, you get that spark whenever you interact there with the charged positives. I think it's coming off of that sunspot here. It has to be. But this is a little behind, 0336. So this is about 10, 15 minutes behind. That definitely is from that area. But I'm kind of curious to see. I want to make sure. X 2.0 still going up. We are still rising, folks. A little bit of curvature, but it's still peaking out here. Goodness. Pretty significant, strong solar flare kicking up. A little slow here on the solar ham site. Notice that they're showing an M9.4, but it's a little behind. Nothing showing up there on the seismographs. I do like to watch what happens when we get hit with a solar flare. See if there's any elevated seismic activity. But the last couple events there have been pretty quiet. We haven't really seen any relation between the two. Come on, baby, update. Let me see it. It's got to be from this area. I don't think it's off of this region. It's too strong. It's too lengthy. Obviously, it can't be that one. There's no way. So it has to be from this area back here. That's the only region that is showing some super complex areas and bright activity there on the UV chart. Going up, still going up. X 2.2. Goodness, isn't that crazy? Just out of the blue. Very consistent C flare activity, and then pop, bam. That is crazy. I want to see which sunspot it's coming from before I end this update here. This is still, it should update here in the next couple minutes. Still at 0336. It's 0351 right now, 8:51 Pacific time here, California. So just kind of waiting on it. Either way, global delayer map here showing some significant radio blackout there. Australia centered right over the Indonesia Islands area. Goodness. And again, that's not going to affect cell phones. Cell phones operate on a way different frequency than these communication and navigation systems there. So that's not going to happen. Internet as well. So Come on, maybe let's update. I want the update here. So anyway, just real quick while we're waiting on this, the 150,000 subscriber contest. I really want to give away some prizes there. We'll probably do, some 3 top prizes. Give away some gift cards. We'll just make it simple, right? Last time we give away 10 prizes there to the 10 winners in our 100,000 subscriber giveaway, and gave away some gift cards and also some rocks and minerals and also a couple Earthmaster pins, and we'll just make it simple. We'll just go with your choice on what you want, whether it's a gift card or whatnot, or maybe some Earthmaster merchandise, and we'll just make it simple. 150,000, that's actually a pretty big deal. Maybe we'll do a bigger one, a bigger significant drawing on 200,000 subscribers, but I appreciate it there if everyone subscribes. If you're not a subscriber, that would definitely help us out, get us a little bit closer there to the 150,000 subscriber giveaway, and we're still going up here. X 2.6 right now. Goodness. That's a super long duration X flare wherever it's coming from. That's not one of those super impulsive events where it goes up and then it comes right back down, right, in terms of energy. This is a long duration event. The question is here. Oh, look. Wait, let's see. 0333. Look at those magnetic plasma clouds out there. That is just crazy looking activity. It's been a while since I've seen anything look like that. So I guarantee you that's exactly where it's coming from. But well, what's taking us so long out here? We're waiting patiently, but still hasn't updated since 0336 here. It's a little odd. That's even older there. 0338. Wow, that's crazy. The sun's actually very beautiful if you really think about it. That provides life here on this planet. Makes everything grow out here. We rely on that for our daily activities, whether it's going to the store and walking around out in our yard, watering our green grass. The sun is responsible for all this. And it's absolutely beautiful. Look at, oh my gosh, there it is. Told you guys. That is a massive long duration X flare peeking out there. I'm going to have to screen capture that. That is crazy to say the least. So I'll screen capture that. I don't even think that's at the peak. That's just a long, large, massive X flare kicking up right now. X 2.9 still going up, folks. Still going up out here. That is crazy. Maybe this is going to peak into something bigger than the X9 pointer. Who knows? But we're starting to get that little curvature. But this is unlike the X flares we've seen in the past where it went straight up and then straight down. This is a big time flare in terms of long duration. So unfortunately, that's off on the eastern limb here. Don't think we're going to see anything Earth directed in terms of CME activity, but that I told you guys, that is a very strong flare and a very interesting region here to watch for sure. All right, I'm going to back out of here, folks. Get this thing updated here on the channel. Make sure you guys subscribe. I'll definitely appreciate it as we look forward to the 150,000 subscriber giveaway. And have yourself a good night. Stay safe. We'll catch you guys back out here in the morning sometime.